wanna know what you, yeah, I wanna know what you want. My niggas gon' blow at you, yeah, my niggas gon' blow at you down.
Well, what do we have here, B-Plus gang? It's been quite a while since I made a video covering the internet's most infamous couple, BlueFace and Chrisean Rock.
Chase a bag, don't worry about what I'm doing.
And the last time I spoke on any of these two, it had to do with some of the charges that BlueFace had brought against him. But in the time since then, a lot has changed, and our favorite couple isn't so much of a couple anymore. Now, if we're all being honest, thank God these two separated from each other. It really doesn't take like a rocket scientist to figure out that the relationship that they had was a total masterclass of a toxic relationship. What with them being videotaped in public, physically assaulting each other, and having a reality TV show with cameras in their face 24/7, where they also assaulted one another.
Looks crazy, right? But I'm no bitch, so I'm gonna put this paper towel right here, put my hat on, and do what a nigga with nuts would do. But what you're gonna do, you're gonna do what a bitch would do. You sit in the car and fight me about some shit that you called me, that I called you back. Now you're gonna cry about it like a bitch. I don't give a fuck what hurts. I'm hurting too. Nobody cares about the man. They only care about the bitch.
If you're looking big picture here, all of the parties involved really benefit from these two being split up. And I mean, shit, even I'm in better mental health because of it. BlueFace can finally get back to doing more BlueFace shit. And surprisingly, after my last video, I found out that Chrisean Rock has become somewhat of a respected figure in the eyes of many of her followers. It looks like she's really like cozied up and settled into this almost like Cardi B lane, where her reality TV appearances allowed her to catapult into an entertainment career, which I'm sure has greased her pockets up more than quite a bit. The problem here becomes that reality TV is notorious for capitalizing on the dysfunction of the people that choose to go on these shows. So for them, it's kind of like a win-lose situation, because becoming a professional reality TV star means you'll probably be rolling in dough, exposure, and relevancy. But since the whole world is privy to your relationships, things tend to get messy really fast. I've covered a lot of Chrisean and BlueFace's violent and messy relationship history in this video here a couple months back, and we all know how god-awful that was. But then somebody somewhere thought, what if we add a baby into this equation?
Who's gonna watch the baby? Me?
You heard it here, folks. And this isn't like a game or some like weird joke going on here. The couple that was openly abusive to one another, the couple that literally had to separate from each other because they kept harming each other, decided that they were gonna have a baby. The whole situation is just bonkers to me, you know, and I can't help but just see BlueFace and Chrisean Rock as deplorable people, like clean cut and straight up. But admittedly, that might be because I had to research through a lot of their BS and I'm totally biased. It really makes me question the intentions here of all of the people involved, because it's like before the child is even born, their whole life is being monetized in a situation that only calls for dysfunction. The whole shade room demographic is insanely parasocial, and I think the reason why a lot of people end up getting so invested in the messy lives of people like BlueFace and Chrisean is because they genuinely just want to see a car crash happen in 4K. I think time and time again, these two have proven that they're just really shitty people, and it baffles me to see that fans see anything redeemable in them. Nowadays, when I look into the comments, I see a lot of apologists saying things like, now that she's not with BlueFace, she'll do way better, or BlueFace was the one that was weighing her down. And that's just like a total revisionist history going on here, because Chrisean benefited from their relationship 10 times more than BlueFace ever could or did. And for a long while, it was the only thing keeping her relevant because BlueFace's career was on a sharp decline. I guess maybe a lot of these people don't really understand how relationships work, and they're trying to pin all of the blame on BlueFace because he was definitely a bad partner and a shitty person. But need I remind you, they broke up and got back together countless times. So it's totally in the realm of possibility that she is also a shitty person who was guilty of a lot of the same things. So in the middle of making this video, the baby was actually born and stuff, so I want to start off and say congratulations to Blue and Chrisean. Chrisean posted that she named the baby boy Chrisean, which is like a crazy lifelong ego play. But you know, a few more things happened that kind of proved exactly what I was saying a little bit earlier in this video. The labor was streamed to Instagram Live, and under regular circumstances, I would be like, this is a completely normal occurrence and fine thing to do. But in the context of being a reality TV star, it's very transparent what the motive is here. They want to monetize this kid's life as soon as he leaves the womb and treat him as an extension of BlueFace and Chrisean's relationship. It's no wonder that like within days of this little guy being born, BlueFace is already trying to stir the pot with some baby-related drama. Now BlueFace is going around threatening that he's gonna fight for full custody of the kid. But if I'm gonna be honest here, I don't think any of them should be able to get sole custody of this kid, and he should most likely just stay with like a neutral third party that is proven to be a stable individual. Because within only a week or two of giving birth, Chrisean was caught and sentenced to 4 years of probation because she was caught with possession and intent to sell in Oklahoma.
Really, nigga?
And this is really nothing new for Chrisean. In 2022, she also got arrested for trying to sell controlled substances and broke into BlueFace's car, stealing it and driving it across the country.
When does crack? Now, so the cocaine's happening. When does that crack come into play?
This lady is the worst example of a role model or authority figure, and I really wonder how that would reflect and impact this kid growing up, because he's coming up in an environment where his parents are constantly just freely and openly making a spectacle of themselves. And their TV show BlueFace and Chrisean kind of expose a light on just how much controlled substances they take on a daily basis. A lot of the confrontations and situations they were getting into were fueled by an alcoholic drink or, you know, a blunt of weed, to the point where you just have to assume that it's just a regular part of their lifestyle. In the past, Chrisean has made claims that she needed to be drunk while they were recording that show. I'm not really sure what that means, like needed, like was somebody forcing her to drink, or was it more like a thing she was doing to cope? Whatever the deal here, BlueFace would eventually flip that script on Chrisean and say that she was an uncontrollable drinker and that she was drinking while she was pregnant. So we will never know exactly what happened here, but we do know Chrisean has a dangerous relationship with drinking that she admitted to, and she may have even drank while she was pregnant. We don't know because BlueFace isn't really a reliable narrator. In one instance, a video of Chrisean Rock partying with rapper Glorilla surfaced online, where she was in the VIP section in the dark club sipping on some sort of drink while very pregnant. The internet assumed that she was drinking some sort of alcoholic beverage because she's already established a pattern here of like excessive drinking. But in her defense here, I don't actually think that this was an alcoholic beverage, but it did lead me to go back to see if there was any instance of Chrisean drinking publicly, and I actually found one. Okay, dating all the way back to the Adam 22 appearance when she like first announced her pregnancy, sort of. She starts off the interview by saying she doesn't know if she's on her cycle or if she's pregnant, and then like not even 15 minutes into the interview, she's drinking on an alcoholic beverage, which just makes everyone here on set look dumb as fucking bricks. Like, if you're not sure if you're pregnant or not, right? The next sentence out of your mouth should not be, yo, let me get a drink. Especially if you plan on keeping the baby, you fucking nincompoop. Then we have an instance of her just straight up smoking a doink mid-pregnancy on her show. And I think for a lot of these moments, we just have to remember that the moments we see online for the first time do not happen in a vacuum, okay? Just because it's our first time seeing these things does not mean it was the first or last time these things happened. But it does create a pattern of behavior for us to look at and observe. I personally and genuinely think that Chrisean as well as BlueFace didn't stop any of their indulging in substances when they were birthing this child. And for bringing a child into the world, this is absolutely fucked up, you know, in my opinion. It makes me circle back to what I was saying a little bit earlier. Like, I'm not sure why people are treating Chrisean like she's this exemplary person or like she's a positive force for good in the world. Some celebs are amazingly talented people that are put on a pedestal and they're easy to look up to. But Chrisean and BlueFace are just shitty people. They should have never had kids, let alone have kids with each other. This kind of brings us up to a little more recent times. What can I say? I've been working on this video for like fucking a month now, who knows? And somehow this topic just keeps becoming relevant at some point in time. But recently some footage surfaced of Chrisean with the baby at like a grocery store in public. And it's sad to say, but the little guy does not look like he was doing okay. Go figure, when you're smoking 3 gram backwoods every night and fucking drowning it in Hennessy, something's bound to go wrong. And for a while, that was the latest news we got, but things just keep happening. At this point in the story, it's been confirmed via BlueFace posting his son's genitalia, nevertheless, that the kid contracted a hernia and he would need surgery to get it removed. BlueFace goes out here to blame Chrisean, saying that she neglected their son. But like, y'all aren't y'all rich? It's both y'all fucking fault. You know, in my 22 years of life, I've never had a hernia, but this kid has been alive not even 3 months and he's contracted one. So yeah, I think CPS needs to be called. Not to mention here that BlueFace is also having his legal litigation open back up, which I referenced in the past video, so at least in my opinion, it doesn't really look like this kid has the best support network. It really seems like his parents care more about using him as a weapon to like take pot shots at one another, because Chrisean just posted a new song with the video called Baby Father Drama. I wish I was joking, where she just, you know, parades her son around like a fucking set prop, and she just disses BlueFace the entire time. Yeah, but I'm gonna let you guys hear a little bit of that.
Save me, save me, save me. I got $1 billion baby, baby, baby. Everybody acting crazy, crazy, crazy. I made myself a million.
So yeah, there you have it, folks. Honestly, this whole situation kind of makes me feel icky to talk about, because it definitely borders on getting very parasocial. But I think it's even more weird that people have kind of like refused to acknowledge what is really going on here. Like, having kids, okay, is not the same as being a parent. BlueFace has like 8 kids. Yes, he's a father, but he's not mature enough to effectively parent a kid. And I think the same goes for Chrisean. I'm not saying being a parent is an easy task, and definitely it takes some learning to be good and effective at it. But at what point do these guys prioritize the health of their newborn son over all of the shenanigans? I don't know, man, but you know, let me know your thoughts down below in those comments, and consider leaving a like or subscribing if you really enjoyed the video. And maybe, I'm sorry about that. And maybe even check out one of my previous videos here on the channel. And I'll see you guys on the next one.